I am delighted to be in the company of boxing royalty, Prince Naseem Hamid, and maybe future boxing royalty, Mr. Aadam Hamid. How are we, gentlemen?
Feeling good, man. Happy to be here.
Well, one thing I need to tell you is that Aadam, he automatically, it's not about one day, he automatically falls into that realm of boxing royalty. I'm not too sure about that left ball back thing he talked about, but he is automatically royalty, boxing royalty, because, you know, he's the son of. But today, I wanted to make sure and let everybody know it's not about me. This is about Aadam Naseem Hamid, and everything's going to be about him in his career. Nobody's going to be able to take his limelight. Nobody's going to be able to overshadow him, and nobody wants to, because, you know, he's in his own right to be who he wants to be and win what he wants to win and achieve what he wants to achieve. And I'm sure, inshallah, he will succeed, and he will get everything that he wants out of this sport. And that's the main thing. When somebody trains so hard, and they're so dedicated, and you know, I can honestly say right at this moment in time that he is more dedicated than I was, and I really believe he needs that to be anyway. You know, everybody's talking about the true and the right thing with him, which is experience. He needs that experience. He needs to fight. Literally, I've just spoke to Frank just before his way out and just said to him, look, I want my son to fight. I want him to out as much as possible. You need to spar as much as you can, train as much as you can, and fight as much as you can, because once he builds that experience, he's going to feel it, he's going to understand it, he's going to know the knowing of it. And that's the best thing. When I was fighting, thank God, I had this sense of knowing I was going to win. You know, I could feel and picture and imagine and visualize where they were going to drop, where I wanted them to fall, how I wanted them to fall. I mean, most of the time I want them to fall on their face, because that's what I like doing. I like taking them out. When you knock 31 out of 36 wins, it's no joke. Aadam's got heavy hands. I know Aadam's got heavy hands. Aadam's got speed, and he can move. So, in my eyes, God willing, he's going to bring a full package just like I did.
I mean, look, if he does 10%, I think that's what Frank said up there. If Aadam's even 10% of what you were, that's tremendous. And yeah. Look, when did you know? When did you know that, do you know what, I am going to do it. I am going to be a fighter. I'm going to, you know, carry on the legacy. Was there a moment?
Yeah, I think I was about 18, probably like 17, 18, and I just found it a lot easier than other people. I was like sparring kids who have won everything as an amateur, national champion. I just came to the conclusion that records are for DJs, you know what I'm saying? I felt comfortable with them, and I felt like I can get a crack in with anyone. So it was at that time I thought, let me take this more serious. Let me just dedicate the rest of my life to this sport, and let me see how far I can take it. And only now I can start seeing it unfold to how I want it to unfold. So blessed to be in this position.
Even that, you're tremendously dedicated. I know you've taken yourself away from home as well.
Always, yeah.
But like, did you need to? Could you not have like trained at home, or did you need to?
I felt like I could have, and part of me thinks maybe I should have at the start a little bit. I ended up going to Sheffield, and I don't think that was the right move. But I just sponged from every gym, and I'm learning, and I'm grafting, and I'm really happy with how my last camp went with Spencer McCracken. Big respect to him and the McCracken's team, and now I'm really looking forward to seeing where Jamie can take me and where we can take this journey. And I feel pretty set. I've got unbelievable kids in the gym that I can spar and train with, and I feel really privileged and lucky to be part of the team.
And Naz, I've heard you say you didn't actually really want him to be a fighter initially. You thought, look, I've done the fighting, so my kids don't have to. Did it surprise you, the desire that this young man has?
Well, his desire is second to none, but I did initially start with the boys telling them that they couldn't fight, and I didn't want them to fight, and that was simply because it wasn't even the fact that I'd done enough boxing for generations to come. It was the fact that I knew how hard it is to be a fighter. It's no jokes. Them days and them nights get lonely. The loneliest place in the whole world is in that ring. And when that bell goes, you have to do what you got to do in front of millions of people and everybody's watching. But I know in my heart of all hearts, my son's cut out for it. He's cut out for it. He wants it. He wants it bad. I wanted it. And the thing is what made it easy for me, I had a gift from Allah and everybody could see that gift. I was blessed with all the ability that I had from a very early age. I was settled with probably the perfect wife, thank God, which Alicia sat, not big up Mumsy again. So I thank God that everything, Allah blessed me from the get-go. And even to get to this stage now where I've just turned 50 years old, I'm looking at my son, I'm looking at all of my sons, and these want to fight. Now at first, I questioned them. When I saw their dedication, when I saw what they were putting inside that gym, when I saw how much they wanted it, the training and their ability and how far they've come from just teaching themselves, I've hardly taught them anything. And that's why with me, like in Adam's career at the moment, it would be more just of a mind game, of just, speaking to him and mentally, instead of going...
It's like a level of confidence.
Yeah.
It's like who's better to talk to than someone who's been through it and really been through it at that level. And sometimes, if I did feel half stressed out, which I'm saying, listen, we all get a little bit stressed, but I keep it cool. But when I speak to my dad, there's just a level of confidence that comes with it, and it really does push me, it drives me.
Well, there's also something else here. You all have a target on your back, inevitably. Every spar you have, actually, someone's going to want to be the kid that bashed up Naz's son. They're going to want to beat you in the ring as well. They're going to want to say they did X, Y, Z.
It's just a good thing. It's even better, exactly. That's amazing. Exactly. Everyone I get in the ring with, I know that, and that's in the back of my mind, and that's why I won't let anyone be able to say that.
Dev, I mentioned in the press conference that we don't only wear drama. We bring the drama. The night that I had to go to New York City, it was the first time in my whole life to travel to America, 23 years old. Adam's age now. Adam's just turned 24 today. So can you imagine not ever going across the pond and your first fight, your debut in America be Madison Square Garden, where the biggest legends and the biggest stage in America, but yet I knew that I was going to take him out. I knew that I didn't know what was going to happen in between the fight, because that was up and down. I mean, 6 knockdowns. 6 knockdowns is heavy. 6 knockdowns in 4 rounds. It's just no joke. You can't predict any of these things that have happened in my career. And I honestly believe, you talk about 10% of what I had for Adam. I think that's what Frank said. If he only's got 10%, that's nothing. Nobody's seen Adam yet. Nobody's seen anything. Nobody's seen what you can do. And it ain't going to be 10%. It's going to be way more than that. And I've asked, listen, when you're able to be so close to Allah, the creator of all things, and your head's on the floor, and you're asking Allah, the greatest, the highest of all high, for your son to be better than you. Because we don't have jealousy, like we don't have no jealousy in our house, or we're not brought up with being envious or jealous. The only thing I want is for my son to be happy in what he's doing. I want him to be confident in what he's doing, and I want him to know that this is for him. This is for him, and that's why I believe it ain't about 10%. I think people are going to realize from early he's got a God-given talent too. And when he starts putting them away, I'm going to sit there. I just want to be able to sit there ringside like my father did and watch my son just achieve everything and make me so proud the way that I made my father proud. Yemen, the whole of Yemen and the whole of the Middle East, and every single Muslim on the planet, and everybody else that supported me and liked me, because this is going to be about Aadam now. And people are going to understand that I'm nothing to do with his entrances or the way he comes out or what he does. This is going to be all about him. And listen, it ain't going to be pressure or stuff on his shoulders, because listen, I remember my son saying to me, pressure, Dad, what they're talking about? Pressure makes diamonds. They're his words. For me, when you're capable and when you have got so much ability and when you're dedicated, when you've got so much faith and you pray 5 times a day, listen, you're only going one place, to the top.
I love it. We've missed these Nas kind of lines, these promos like that, and now you're doing it about Aadam. Love it, absolutely love it. Listen, you're going to be ringside watching all of his fights. Sat right next to you will be Frank Warren. You've made that decision. And Aadam, I'm going to come to you on this because you said family up there. You've seen him as family. Tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah, since a kid, it's always been Dad and Frank, do you know what I'm saying? My dad was... he retired in 2002, so I was 2 years old, so I didn't get to witness it and live through it, and my dad always does remind me, you don't even know what it was like, you don't know, but I'm starting to know, you know what I'm saying? Especially being with Frank now, it's a surreal feeling, and like I said, I'm looking to recreate a lot of that history.
Absolutely brilliant. Look, I'm not going to keep you much longer. One bit of advice that you would give Aadam going into his career, if you could just have one bit, what would you say?
He needs to do his 5 prayers every day, all day, every day. He needs to do his 5 prayers. If he does his 5 prayers and he does them from his heart and he's got that connection with Allah, see, I don't have to talk to him about his training. His training, he can do in his sleep. I remember seeing an interview with Muhammad Ali once, and they asked him a similar question. And he's talking about keeping away from them girls, keeping away from all of them things, them temptations of life when you're in the public eye, and you know, you think that's easy?
Looking like that, I can't imagine it would be easy.
No. Well, listen, put on top of that, you know, superstar, sports boxing superstar, God willing, inshallah. We don't want to fast forward things right now, and we're going to let things take place the way they should do. But I want him to do his prayers. I want him to be confident in what he's doing, which I know he is. And I want him to stay happy. And he's good to his parents. He's good to his mum. He's good to his dad. You know, he's good to his brothers. I want him to be very close like he is with his brothers. He's got a very, very decent amount of friends who are even here today with him. Listen, Aadam Naseem, he's made for the lights. He's made for the big lights. He's going to dance under them lights, and he's going to do what he needs to do in the sport of boxing. I've got no doubt that he's going to do what's right. So I'm confident in my son's ability, like I said on stage before, and I just cannot wait to see him achieve everything and more, because he don't know what he's going to achieve yet. He hasn't got a clue how it's going to be. In my eyes, he's going to come through a few tests, and it's going to be exciting, but the whole world's going to want him to win, and the whole world's going to love him, and they're going to get behind him, and they're going to support him, and I just can't wait for that. I'm looking forward to it, because it's like the second time coming. When you've done it yourself, and then obviously you're so confident about your son coming through, it's like the second time coming. People have always said about all these fighters, I don't know why they're trying to be like me, but they're all trying to dance and do these certain things. I'm watching these guys, and I'm just thinking, you know what? You guys have not got a clue. If you're going to watch the second one coming, you have to watch for my own blood. You have to watch for my sons. And Aadam's the first one. Aadam's the man to come out. And if anybody wants to talk about anything to do with me or being like me, don't look no further than my son. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Thank you. Thank you, Pleasure.